Sports presents the National League Championship Series. Today, it's Game 5. The Atlanta Braves versus the Florida Marlins.
It's October baseball, and this is October weather in South Florida as game time approaches a sizzling 86 degrees. In Game 5, it'll be Greg Maddux, the four-time Cy Young Award winner, 19-4 for the regular season, the Game 1 loser in this LCS to the Marlins' Kevin Brown. But for the second consecutive game, Kevin Brown, who is still suffering from an intestinal virus, will be pushed back. He is now scheduled to start Game 6 Tuesday night in Atlanta. He's replaced today by the rookie right-hander from Cuba, Liván Hernández, who won his first 9 big league decisions.
Each and every umpire has his own interpretation of what the strike zone is. And today we'll see a different strike zone from Eric Gregg.
And how would you characterize Eric Gregg's strike zone?
Well, I think Eric Gregg's strike zone is more of a pitcher strike zone.
Atlanta's order for Game 5. Lockhart has been playing second base against the right-handers and Graffinino against the lefties. Chipper Jones 3 for 5 last night, bringing his career postseason batting average to .373 over the past 3 seasons. Klesko with a couple of homers in the series, back in the lineup, nursing the sore shoulder and wrist. Tucker, Perez, Blauser, and Maddux. Perez, of course, Maddux's personal catcher. This ball is ripped for extra bases, inside first base, heading for the corner, at least a double, and with Lofton you never know. He's thinking 3. Kenny Lofton wants a triple, and that's how this game begins.
Balls here to Lockhart.
The 3-1 misses, and Chipper Jones, 7 for 16 in the series, will come up with runners at first and third, and nobody out. McGriff will be next. Struck him out.
Tougher to hit the good breaking ball than it is to hit that little hanger right there. These hitters.
2-2 pitch. And he gets McGriff swinging.
And the key at bat here for Klesko to see if he can really get extension, Joe, on that injured left shoulder.
Can Liván Hernández get out of it? Yes, he can. First and third, nobody out. He fans the heart of the order. Jones, McGriff, and Klesko. Devon White, the switch hitter, is back at the top. Renteria at short. Sheffield, Bonilla, and Conine. Bonilla just 1 for 15, and Conine 0 for 11 in this series. Alou back in left field. Johnson, the catcher. Counsell at second against the right-hander, and Hernandez, of course, the pitcher. Hit him, and it looked to me like White wasn't too anxious to get out of the way.
Well, that's what Maddux is yelling at. He did not make an attempt. You have to make an attempt to get out of the way in the first inning.
He goes, the pitch is low and away. It gets by Perez. White with a huge turn at second, and he'll hold there. The 0-2 pitch. Throws his bat at it and comes up empty. The on-deck circle. 3-1 pitch is low. And the Marlins have runners at first and second with 1 out. The 1-2 pitch. Line to center for a base hit that will put the Marlins in front. White scores. Sheffield to third as Bobby Bonilla comes through, pumping his fist as he walks back toward first. With 1 out on the 0-2 pitch. Hit back to Maddux. He's a Gold Glover. There's 1 and 2, and they're out of the inning. The Marlins settle for 1. Fastball hit in the air to center field. White goes back. This ball's really carrying back at the fence and gone. Just like that, Jim Leland's 1-0 lead is gone.
One thing I noticed in batting practice, the ball is really carrying to right field and to center field.
3-1 pitch. Bounce toward third. Fair ball. Bonilla across the diamond. And that's the first out. Center field. White coming in on this one. Strikeout number 4 to close the book on the top of the second. Called strike 3. Back to Maddux. Those are almost routine for him. There's the second out. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 3 for him so far in the game. Abe's batting in the 3rd. Called strike 3. And it's the 5th through just 2 1/3 for Hernandez. The 3-2 is popped up. Johnson and Bonilla. Bonilla calling for it in foul ground. Chipper Jones struck out his first time. Ground ball to short. Renteria to his left from behind the bag. Just in time. The rest of the populace hits this ball up the middle. Lockhart to his right. Backhands, whirls and throws and gets him. With Hernandez not running very hard. Again on 2-2. And this time he finishes it. On deck. 3-1 pitch. Bounce to short. Blauser charging. And that takes care of Florida in the 3rd. Him away. 0-1 pitch out over the plate. Hits softly into center field. And this one will drop in front of Devon White. Ryan Klesko swings on the first pitch, pops it back at 3rd. Bonilla and Renteria, and the shortstop calls Bobby Bo off to make the catch. 3-2 pitch with 1 out. He's not going. And a called strike 3, the 6th strikeout for Hernandez.
Beautiful curveball.
Hit hard, and Bonilla short hops the ball, goes to second. Counsell covering for the force. McGriff leads off with a single, but nothing comes of it. Still 1-1. None of them very pretty. Bouncing ball to short. Blauser. It stayed down, but he comes up with it, and there's the first out.
Central Chicago 0-7 on the year, Bob.
Bobby Bonilla with his 2nd hit of the day. Conine. A long drive to left. Sounds good off the bat. Klesko to the fence for the catch. Bonilla now racing back to 1st, and he makes it. And that is strikeout number 5 for Greg Maddux. Number 7. Well, he has an idea about how he wants to pitch. Shallow center field, Devon White. That takes care of Greg Maddux. Bonilla in close at 3rd. A pop-up. Renteria and Counsell, either one can. Renteria will, and Hernandez works a perfect 5th.
Yes. But I must say I've compared 2 people, both he and Liván Hernández of the Texas Rangers, to Johnny Bench.
Liván
Rodriguez, I'm sorry.
Johnson goes down swinging to start the 5th. Craig Counsell now slaps one to short. Blauser throws him out. Got a run off Maddux in the 1st. He was out of the batter's box apparently when he was struck by that ball, and Eric Gregg has called him out. Let's take a look. He's calling Jim Leland over for an explanation.
Well, you can see his front foot is out of the batter's box, but I mean, guys start with their foot out of the batter's box a lot of times.
I thought at first he was struck by the ball, but the ball was tipped back. And he's simply calling him out for being outside the batter's box.
That's the key.
Now Lockhart rolls the curveball to Renteria. The pickup at the other end by Conine.
The line, so he's not out of the box.
But he is out on strikes. Did he get him? They check at 3rd, and Charlie Williams punches him out. 9 for Hernandez through 6. The 3-2 got him. And that's 7 for Maddux.
1-3-2.
Renteria. Chipper Jones has his roller. And that's the 2nd out in the 6th. Hitting out of that widespread stance and taking a called 3rd strike. 8 for Maddux. The 2-2 pitch. That is his 10th strikeout with a 3-2 lead. Strike 3, his 11th.
Man, that's a beautiful pitch right there.
Yesterday for the Orioles before he had to leave. Perez won't strike out, but he will be retired. Counsell has it. Another perfect inning for Hernandez. And this ball is well hit to right. Back goes Tucker, back by the fence for a leaping grab, but then it's jostled loose as he bangs into the wall. Bonilla to second with his 3rd hit.
I mean, this is a bullet. He does a great job of getting his glove on it, but it's a snow cone, and the wall forces it out. Now he doesn't know where it is, and he comes up, and Benil gets a double. This is a high pitch, and Benil rips it. I mean, it's a great attempt there by Tucker, but it's in the edge of his web, and the ball was just jarred out by the wall.
And Andrew Jones now in right field.
Replacing Tucker, who had homered and struck out twice. Now a big at-bat for Conine. Swinging and hitting it up the middle. It takes a big hop off the mound into center field. Bonilla waved home. Here's the throw to the plate. Nowhere close. And taking second on the play is Conine. It's 2-1 Marlins. As today. Alou reaches for it. Rolls it to Chip for Jones. Looks the runner back. Throws high. McGriff stays on the bag. Maddux wheels and pegs him behind the runner and picks him off. And now Johnson finishes the inning by striking out for the second time. 9 strikeouts for Maddux, but after 7, he trails 2-1. Sure. Strike 3. A dozen now. There it is, number 13, as he gets the pinch hitter Gregg. He is 1 behind the National League Championship Series record for strikeouts in a game, shared by John Candelaria of the Pirates and Mike Scott of the Astros. Of course, yesterday Mike Messina struck out 15 in the ALCS for the Orioles. And a walk to Lofton, who throws his bat aside, as if to say to Eric Gregg, was that one far enough outside the strike zone for you? Another 2-2 pitch. The runner goes. That's ball 3. Johnson's throw. Got him! Senior approves. So does a packed house. Is there anybody better than CJ?
And throw him.
Counsell chops one over the mound. It's beyond Cather. Charging his Lockhart. He barehands it, but he has to eat it. In which he struck out 13, and to this point outdueled Greg Maddux. Plus he gets a good bunt down. McGriff was going to tag him, then wheels and tosses it to Lockhart. On the part of players like Charles Johnson and Edgar Renteria. Devon Wright hits it to center. Lofton started in, now goes back. May have misjudged it, but makes the catch on the track. And scrambling back to second is Craig Counsell. Peril. Maybe pressure means something different to him. Renteria strikes out, setting the stage for the ninth, with the Marlins leading in Game 5, 2-1, and here comes Hernandez to finish it. Ahead of Lockhart, 0-2. There's his 14th strikeout, tying the National League Championship Series record. He now shares it with John Candelaria and Mike Scott. Line drive caught by Hernandez. What hasn't he done?
What a play. And this ball is hit pretty good by Jones.
It's a blur.
Well, he hangs the breaking ball to Jones. He has not been hanging many pitches. You see it's a curveball, but it's up, and Jones goes with it right back through the middle. He reaches out. And he even has a little fun with it after he makes the catch. Watch, he gives you a little hop right there after he makes the catch.
He's thrown 141 pitches, but the way the adrenaline is pumping, it doesn't feel like that to him, at least not right now.
He's still got the good velocity on his fastball, but I think he has to make it happen right here. Even if he has to challenge him towards the middle of the plate, you do not want to walk him and bring the go-ahead run to the plate.
The 3-2 pitch. Got him! Eric Gregg punches him out on what McGriff thought was ball 4. It's his 15th.
Come out here in the top of the ninth, and neither does Liván Hernández. This is a breaking ball that he's been throwing over the outside part of the plate all night. And he gets the call from Eric Gregg for strike 3, and you see the excitement in the kid's eyes. I mean, the concentration right here is the same that he's had for 142 pitches. And he knows right here that he's done it.
Well, you said it early, Joe. Eric Gregg could set the tone with how liberal a strike zone he established. We thought we were talking about Maddux. We didn't realize that Hernandez would be the guy who would take such great advantage of it. And that pitch might have been outside, but it's pretty consistent with the way Eric has interpreted the strike zone today. And McGriff had to know that if it was anywhere close, the way Hernandez was going today, he'd better be wailing.
Well, Bob, they can beat this game up. They can do a lot of things to it, but it's games like last night in Cleveland and a game like we had here today that always brings the fans back. And I don't care what anybody says, this is the greatest game in the world.
Oh, what a job. I'll tell you, that's unbelievable, the consistency that he had all day long and working corners and staying right there. And wherever Gregg was working as far as the corners go, that's where Hernandez did, and so did Greg Maddux for that one.
And you see the 32 on the side of his cap. Were it not for the rotator cuff injury sustained by number 32, Alex Fernandez, after game 2 of this series, Hernandez would have worked out of the bullpen. He never would have gotten this start.
Thank you very much, Bob. Liván is going to get some interpretation from the PR department. Julio Sarmiento will help us interpret. Liván, how did you get your confidence today, and how are you able to maintain your poise in such a pressure-filled situation?
¿Cómo te quedaste tan calmado? Bueno, la confianza siempre uno viene con, siempre a mí me gusta tener confianza en sí mismo, conmigo mismo.
I always like to have self-confidence. It's something I have to have.
Y bueno, me sentí muy bien hoy, tenía la bola muy bajita.
I felt real good today, and I had kept the ball down low. You came to the ballpark. Were you expecting to pitch, or were you expecting that Kevin Brown was going to pitch? And when were you contacted and let known that you would have to pitch today?
Me avisaron ayer que iba a abrir por la noche después del juego. Y bueno, me preparé muy bien mentalmente.
They told me last night after the game that I was going to start today, so I prepared myself mentally at that time. We know it's very difficult for you to be in contact with your family back in Cuba. Do you have any idea if they were able to see your game today? And will you be able to speak to them tonight?
Bueno, yo sé que mi familia está en Cuba, pero bueno, eso a la hora de pichar hay que pensar en ello para tratar de hacer un buen trabajo también.
Yeah, I know my family's in Cuba, but at the time I go out to pitch, that's what I have to think about, is pitching and doing my job, just so I can do a good job for them. Does he think they saw the game today and really speak to them tonight?
Bueno, a lo mejor lo oyeron por radio, o a otra persona lo oyó y le llevan la noticia rápido.
Hopefully they were able to hear it on radio, and if not, if someone else did, hopefully they were able to give them the news quickly. Because of your family's situation, what we all would describe as a pressure-filled situation, is it easier for you to pitch, having gone through what you've had to get through to get here and what your family goes through on a daily basis back in Cuba?
Lo que ha pasado en Cuba. Bueno, a la hora de pichar uno, tú sabes, eso son cosas que yo no me preocupo mucho ni pienso en eso, porque si te pones a pensar en eso y piensas en eso, no te va muy bien, tú sabes. Yo a la hora de pichar no pienso mucho en eso, lo que hago es pichar ahí.
When it's time to pitch, I have to think about pitching. I can't think of everything that's happened in the past, because if I do, then I start worrying about that and not worrying about pitching. So when it's time to go out on the mound, I just think about pitching. Congratulations, muy bueno.
Thank you. Hoy, bueno, le debo la victoria a la defensa que tuvimos y al gran catcher que tenemos, Charlie Johnson, que me ayudó mucho.
I have to give the victory to our defense that played behind me and our great catcher, Charlie Johnson, who called a great game. Wayne Huizenga, your owner, is sitting right here. He's waiting to get a word with you. Let's go upstairs to Bob. In the category of foregone conclusions, the player of the game is Liván Hernández. Now the Marlins have twice beaten Greg Maddux in this series. They take a 3-2 lead to Atlanta.